Hey guys, it's Dan the Mushroom Man. Just wanted to remind you that if you donate to those Facebook stars, all those donations will go to Fungi and Friends school program at Great River Mushrooms in Nerble. And that school program is where we bring hands-on skills into the classroom to children and teach them about the fungi kingdom and the knowledge to grow those mushrooms. Again, learn more at the website greatrivermushrooms.com, folks. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Dan the Mushroom Man, another episode of the Mushroom Lounge. How are y'all doing today? Thank you guys for joining me today. We're talking a little bit about mushrooms, took a tour of the lab, and probably going to keep it short and sweet today because I got a Rasta show at 12:30, and I want you guys to watch this show, so probably going to do a short hour show. And we're going to do a hashtag Lion's Mane, as always, give that giveaway some of that Lion's Mane. I know I need to catch up on my giveaways. I have to mail about 6 out today. If you haven't got one yet, I apologize. It's just been busy with the new job and adjusting to the new life. But let's hit that hashtag Lion's Mane. Bring that banner up. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing? Good afternoon, Donna. How you doing? Oh, Jeremy, don't ever feel bad for that. How you doing, Chad? Don't feel bad for not being around. I appreciate you coming in as much as you can. I'm going to roll something up here, share out to a few more groups. Today I'm smoking on some blueberry muffin, and I had a rain day today with my roofing job. We got a chance of rain, so we didn't work today. So usually during rain days, I try to do my live with the Mushroom Lounge and talk a little bit about mushrooms. And we got some updates I got going on at the business. So things have been kind of low key this month. I haven't really been making a lot of sales, but I also haven't been really trying. I've only been to one farmer's market, and then I'm not going to the next 2 farmer's markets because I have to take time for the mushroom business to make these updates that I'm making. And I'll show you some of them today. I just bought a new tool yesterday to help with the mushroom business. So please share out, tag somebody who doesn't know anything about mushrooms, who may be interested, and I'm going to show you kind of how I grow them today. I'm going to take you on a little tour, all the equipment I use, kind of explain it, and but first we're going to smoke a little cannabis. And don't forget to hit that Lion's Mane hashtag. And I hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday. It's an interesting weather pattern we got going on. Some of us are dealing with snow, some of us are dealing with 60s, and right now I'm right on the border. Quincy, Illinois is. So if you go like an hour north, they're in the 40s right now, and we're going to be in the 60s. So the weather is all over the place for people. So whether you're facing snow or thunderstorms, just be careful with the weather today because there's chances of snow and storms wherever you live. Thanks, Jeremy, for the tags. I got to finish sharing out to my groups over here. Give me one more second. And I think we got 9 people in here, all on my profile. Appreciate you guys joining me. Also, I'm live over at Great River Mushrooms Facebook page. Please come join that page as well. And I think let me comment in there if you guys don't follow that page, because a lot of the people who interact with the Great River Mushroom page actually aren't people who follow it. So I invite you to, well, that didn't work, to go follow it, and I'll sit there and comment here. Give me a second. Well, that didn't work. There we go. So follow the page. I just said hello. A lot of you may not follow it, so I appreciate if you would as well. And thank you guys for joining me today. Got a lot of changes going on in the mushroom business, Mushroom Lounge. We have a new product that I just bought yesterday that's going to change a lot of things. And we got our 3 main mushrooms now. We got our Lion's Mane. We got our reishi, which just came yesterday. We're going to start making some reishi capsules. And then we have our turkey tails. And eventually we're going to have a 3 capsule ingredients where we're going to have all 3 of those into one capsule and probably make maybe a few other products out of it. And that's something we'll be working on here as the time goes on here. But the next 3 weeks, I'm really taking to take time on my business. I'm not really going to markets. I took the next 2 weeks off too because I have to go teach a class in Macomb, Illinois. So I still have to prepare for that. And hold on a second. I need to get a poker. Load this joint. So a lot of things I have to prepare for, and then we have another market I got invited to in a nursery, and it's a pretty big event. It brings in about 700 people through it. It's a big opportunity for to get my name out there as well. So I'm kind of trying to I have to rework my business, and I'm doing a lot of changes to the business, adding new products while trying to get ready for these events, which is why I'm not going to the farmers market on Saturday. But our products are still available. So if you order them on the website, don't hesitate. You're going to get your orders. So I'm also going to give a discount here, and I'm going to bring that Great River Mushrooms website up here, and we're going to start. The Lion's Mane is going to go on sale, so I'm going to take $1 off the 60 capsule. So it'll be $12. I don't think you can get it much cheaper than that. Let me bring. There we go. We'll make that change right now, and I'll show you. If you go to the website, everything is pretty easy to understand. Again, we got the Lion's Mane CBD, and we're out of FECO right now, but eventually we will have that back in stock. And I'm going to make that change right now. I'm going to go in there and give that $1 off. And give me 1 second while I go into the website builder. And then you'll see that change to $12. You're not really going to see it much cheaper than that in any market. So take advantage of that $1 off. And we're going to do that for the turkey tail as well. And that one's going to be $1 off as well. So let me take that and change those on the website. And let me add the inventory because we have quite a bit. And I need to make that available in the other size as well, which I will here after the show. All the turkey tail, the Lion's Mane, the reishi will all be available, and they'll all be the same price. $12 to $13, $12 on sale. All right, let me change that to the Lion's Mane as well. And the Lion's Mane 60 capsules is already on sale, so check that out too. That's a $24, and we're gonna knock this off $1. And those changes have now been made, so they should be updated. So if you'd like to buy some Lion's Mane, now's a great time to do it. And, Jeremy, I don't know if you set my stars. I'm trying to get better seeing the stars when somebody sends them. But you can only do it on your Facebook page. I'm sorry, the app. And you did, Jeremy. I really appreciate that. 145 stars. I much appreciated, man. Appreciate that. That's going to go help some kids. We're going to teach them about mushrooms. So I think so far I've raised $20 just for the star donations in the last month. So all that money goes to buy some of these things I'm going to be buying to help teach kids about mushrooms. And some of this is going to start next in 3 weeks when I teach the class in Macomb. That's going to be, I'm kind of going to implement some of these new things of how I teach how to grow mushrooms. So those changes will be made there, and I'm excited for the opportunity and the people who are holding the event, are confident for me to actually teach the class and show up and whatnot. So it'll be a lot of fun. But don't forget to hit that hashtag Lion's Mane. I need to bring that page back up. And again, the Lion's Mane on the website is on sale now. And now we'll share. There we go. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day today as well. And I'm just packing a cone up. I'm going to smoke it with you guys, and then we're going to go take a tour of this building. Sorry, the garden down here. And I know a lot of you have seen the garden, but I have a mushroom chamber, and I actually just spent the time this morning cleaning it completely out. It is completely empty right now. So it's clean right now. We're actually going to add some mushrooms here shortly if I have enough time, but I think we do. And we're not going to smoke this whole cone because I'm not trying to. That was a king size cone. What's going on, Ted? How you doing? Sorry, Ted, you sent that message 6 minutes ago and I didn't even see it. But how you doing, Ted? I need to tag some more people in here too, and I'm going to do that right now. Give me a second. People, I can tag all these people. Let me do it real quick. I hope everybody's having a great Friday. I know some weather's on the way, and we got some snow coming up north, but we're not going to get it here in Quincy, and I'm glad we're not. I know some of you are, and I'm glad I'm done with the snow, and I hope everybody else is. I'm gonna light this up. What is everybody else smoking this morning? Anybody else? Everybody else up to? Doing mail and listening. Well, I appreciate it, Ted. Got some stuff going out the door. Hey, Sandra, how you doing? Figured I'd do a short little mushroom lounge, talk about mushrooms. We got a lot of changes coming to the mushroom, and you'll see a lot of these changes at the farmers market once the spring starts. And I'm really excited about the opportunities coming up with the mushroom business. But I'm also busy with the roofing job, so far I'm balancing it, and I'm trying to balance it even better. And that's that can be hard when you actually have a full-time job and then basically a part-time job. But it definitely helps having the business in the house. Chilling, took a dose of Fico honey and smoking London. That just sounds like a good I guess it's still morning here. Good morning. Good afternoon, Dolores. Good to see you too. I haven't been doing lives a lot lately, and I've been doing basically the coffee time with Rasta on Sundays. I think that's the only live I've done in 10 days. So the roofing job's definitely keeping me busy, but I'm adjusting very well to it. It's more or less getting your body adjusted to it and getting the right amount of sleep to be able to do everything I got to do now. But I definitely did think about it. I'm like, I never could stop doing the mushroom business. It's a passion in life, and if I took that away, I would not be enjoying life as much. So there's no way I'd ever stop doing this side hustle that I have that could eventually and will eventually be a main hustle. So yeah, I feel it, Jeremy. Yeah, not having it in your system makes sense. What's going on, Danielle? How you doing? I haven't been smoking a lot of flower myself. I got that Brooklyn Boys pen, and it's been getting me through the day pretty well. And I got that Tutti Frutti hybrid, and I must say this thing lasts forever. I got the full gram, and I've been smoking on it for 5 or 6 days, and it still looks full. I really thought it would be gone in a week, but I think these may last me 2 weeks. Great to see you too, Ted. Appreciate it. How's it going, Charles? Going well over here. I got a 3-day weekend, maybe going on a 4-day if it rains on Monday, and it's looking like it is. So I got to move a couple trailers for my main job today, but other than that, it already looks like it almost started raining here. Might be sprinkling out, so my boss may have made a good choice. Sometimes he says he'll call the day off and it won't even rain at all, but that's what happens in the weather department. Driving back to Oklahoma to package chocolate. There you go. Yeah, I feel you, but when you're on the go and you're at say on my job, even though, I shouldn't be doing it, but it really helps me focus a lot better. And I don't really get high off these pens. Flower is really the only way I get high, and I really have to smoke kind of a lot of it anymore because I do take a lot of CBD. So CBD, if you take more CBD, obviously it's a lot harder, difficult to get high, but I still, I would never stop taking CBD. But I need to start mixing the CBD with the flower and then smoking it together in a 1-to-1. And again, I actually do sell CBD and CBG on the website too. A lot of people don't know that too. I sell it, and it's pretty affordable stuff. So anybody ever wants that added to their order, just look through that. There is CBD flower and CBG flower from the same company that I get it from. Gotcha, Jeremy. But again, don't forget the love, like, reaction button. We're going to take a tour here of the mushroom garden. So one upgrade I made yesterday, and it's going to be short and sweet today. I'm going to be done by 12:30. I got to go help a coworker install something on his ladder, and hit the hashtag Lions Mane. And again, I got about 6 giveaways to get to mail out. I did not forget you. I'm trying to get something together to officially mail you something that says, hey, you won, congratulations, and asking you where to post. And I still need to do that flyer. Because I get a lot of people message me like, hey, where do I post my winnings? And then I'm just going to mail it with your winning and actually where to go to do it. And also give away a coupon code. So there'll be a coupon code in there as well for anybody who wins anything anymore. And it'll basically be for a future order, 10-15% off code. And so that will be helpful. You can maybe buy a bottle for your friend if you really like what I give away. So again, that Lions Mane today will be shipped with the same thing. But I promise everything will be shipped out tomorrow for the last 2 weeks giveaways. I hate being that far behind, but man, that job this past week, I was like every day I was going to do it. I'd end up working till 8 or 9, and by the time I got off, I was exhausted to work on doing this little flyer I want to do. Mike, how you doing? How you doing, Mike? I like it better just me on here. Well, I appreciate it. Cheers, everybody. You don't want CBD beans. I wonder, I don't think Brooklyn boys do, but they should think, well, now that they're moving in their larger facility, if they'd ever grow a 1-to-1 mix with their dads, because I would be interested in that as well. But I do not think Brooklyn Boys offers that yet. Maybe something in the future. But I don't ever buy them because they're so expensive. When you buy cannabis products at the dispensary, you're paying the price for the THC, and some of the CBD stuffs there is still highly priced, in my opinion. When CBD is a lot cheaper to grow and more affordable to grow, and yet they're still charging sometimes the same price. But again, I just gave that. Let me update the website again, and let me see if that worked. The Lions Mane, all turkey tail products are now down to $12, and usually shipping is about $5. So you're looking at $17 shipped to your door for a whole month supply of Lions Mane. You're really not going to find much better than that, even on Amazon. So check out that. It's the cheapest price I can really basically offer to sell it and actually make a profit. And so check that out. $12 turkey tail, $12 Lions Mane. And we'll have the reishi on there. And then the mixed capsule is going to be the same price, but obviously only a third of each ingredient in it. So to get the same milligrams as, say, like the regular capsules of Lions Mane, you would literally have to take 9 capsules of the mix. So we eventually have that on the website as well, though. And that is, if you take 2 of those a day, they really help from what I've taken them before. And I actually forgot to take my dose yesterday of my turkey tail Lions Mane, and digestive system kind of fell apart again, even just missing one dose. And when I do take them, I feel amazing. I feel great. Everything that I eat seems to get digested better. I just have an overall complete better gut health. And when I don't have it, I decline in health. I go back to the way I was a couple months ago when I was really having some back issues and some digestive issues. So all three mushrooms together not only improve your mental health, but they seem to have a major improvement on your gut. It's pretty substantial when you take them and then you don't take them, and you recognize exactly what they do. And I think that's important to maybe sometimes miss a dose, not on purpose, but on accident, and then realize, hey, why do I feel funky today? Why do I feel off? And then you realize, oh, I didn't take that dose of the mushroom capsules. And it's very recognizable on those days when you don't take it and how off you can feel. And then when you do take it, you're like, life's just flowing, everything's good. So I don't think these things are at all any placebo. I don't think these are fake. I don't think I'm selling snake oil. I think these are more amazing than I actually thought they were at the beginning. I didn't really realize, the power of mushrooms. So it's pretty amazing, and I'm really excited to get these products out there and actually show you guys what they actually do. And so many of us suffer from gut health. Our gut health is, as Americans, is so crappy, and these stuff they seem to have a substantial, not only through your digestive system, but your kidneys, as well as your liver, your gallbladder. I mean, I had all kinds of issues based because of stress, anxiety. But then when you have stress, anxiety for a long time of your life, your organs can actually start to suffer and change as well. And eventually, that's why they say stress can kill you, because your organs actually, when you have stress, anxiety, PTSD, any of those things, they over, years of your life, they affect everything else in your body. So not only was, my mental health was improving, but my gut wasn't. So these things have really helped to push that gut and make it a lot better. So if you have gut issues, I definitely invite you to try them. Any of the mushrooms, when they work all together, they seem to have an even stronger effect. So that's why I'm excited we'll have the 3 mushroom blend and the mushroom blend for the coffee, which is going to be 5 mushrooms and then crystallized coffee. And we're going to get some organic gourmet coffee, and it's going to be an awesome product. I'm really excited about that because I haven't seen anything else in the market like that. There's probably 2 other companies I see on Amazon, but they're not using crystallized coffee, or they're not using gourmet coffee, and they don't even tell you what kind of coffee it is. So I will be very open about what's in my products, and I always am with everything I write on the label. I know my bottles are very simple, but that's the intention, to keep the prices down. I'm not trying to give you some fancy label. You see exactly what's in there, and that's all you really need to know. And if you want to know more information, of course, we have the pamphlet and the website to tell you. Awesome. Doctor fixes deformities. Yeah. I hate how our science is so behind. Heck yeah. Great time to grow it outdoor, Mike. If you can hold off for another month or 2, you can grow that CBD plant outdoors. And CBD plants grow great outdoors. And I was planning on doing one this year, but I might get behind on that. We'll see. But yeah, plant it outside if you wait a month or 2 and the weather's better. You got whiteout. I saw some people wake up to snow, and I'm like, some of these people with snow don't live that far away from me. And sorry, you guys got snow. Yeah, the thing is, a lot of these companies offer, they say it's mushroom coffee. And anytime, let's say the way we make coffee, we put it in a filter. So we're filtering out, a lot of the stuff we don't want, obviously the grounds. Now, if you don't use crystallized coffee and you do that with any other mushroom coffee where you filter it, you're filtering out the mushrooms. So I know some of the mushrooms do turn into a juice, and I know other things, but I think it's a lot better if you're going to offer a coffee product to actually have the coffee crystallized, where it would be an instant coffee. That way you're doing like a mix where you're actually, the supplement is actually going into it because you want to eat this part, you know? So that's, at least that's the way I want it to be, at least because otherwise it's not really coffee. So the only way they really do crystallized coffee, it's a very complex thing, and I'm going to buy it from another company. So it'll be instant too. You'll be able to do it on a camping trip. All you got to do is boil some water, you know, dump it in, and that will be it. And I've actually had some very, very good. If you've ever had gourmet instant coffee, it actually can taste better than a cup of coffee. Some of those, the process of doing it is very, they basically pay a lot of attention to detail, and it's a complex process that I've never been able to afford to do. But anybody else out there ever drink instant coffee? I know a lot. I drink it a lot if I do camping, but I do not drink it if I'm at home. Obviously, I make ground coffee. Hell yeah! Wait a month or two, and that weather's going to get better. Although we've had some warm days, but nothing consistent yet. You drink instant coffee daily? Do you have is it like a gourmet kind of instant coffee? I've seen the Walmart brand, and I'm like, instant coffee, the Great Value brand, and I'm like, that can't be that great. And then they don't even really tell you on the bottle what kind of coffee it is. Because if you actually go to a coffee website and you look at buying bulk, you don't ever realize how many different coffees there are until you look at a bulk distributor who's actually selling them. And then they actually tell you exactly where it's from, the country of origin, what kind of coffee it is. And then you're like, holy shit, there's so many different kinds of coffee. And a lot of these companies don't really tell you like how much, you know, where it's coming from, what kind of bean it is. I drink Folgers as well. And I guess if you look more into Folgers, I guess you can kind of find out where their beans come from. But how you doing, Doris? How you doing? Haven't had any since I haven't had any since camping 2 years ago. Oh no, wait! I ran out of coffee one day a couple months ago, and I had one then. Juan Valdez, huh? Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for the stars there. I think that was Doris. Doris, appreciate it. Appreciate the stars. That was going to help us teach some kids about mushrooms over at Great River Mushrooms. Again, if anybody donates stars, I'd like to let me play this little ad here to tell you what they actually go to. Hey guys, it's Dan the Mushroom Man. Just wanted to remind you that if you donate to those Facebook stars, all those donations will go to Fungi and Friends school program at Great River Mushrooms and Herbal. And that school program is where we bring hands-on skills into the classroom to children and teach them about the fungi kingdom and the knowledge to grow those mushrooms. Again, learn more at the website greatrivermushrooms.com, folks. And again, that's something we're looking to incorporate in the fall of this year at school. And I will it's called Ole Miss Academy. I've already actually taught one class there to two separate classes of kids. And I didn't do one this year because it was last year because I was busy with the business and stuff. But this program, if you do donate stars, goes to pay for the supplies to help children learn about mushrooms. And all of these kids will go home with a mushroom kit to grow mushrooms at home, so that a lot of that money will go help to pay for those bags as well, because it can be expensive to grow mushrooms at home. If anybody has done it, it can be an expensive hobby at first because you have to buy the equipment, and I would like to bring the equipment on the road. So there are portable devices I can use to actually bring to like a classroom and actually show them really the equipment it takes to grow mushrooms at home. But you can even make stuff at home, out of containers, and I actually have one that I'll bring as well that actually works great, that you can make yourself to grow mushrooms. Again, anybody who donate that star is much appreciated, much love. I think we've so far gotten $20 to $25 in the last month since I started being able to accept stars. So much appreciated all that. That's the dude on the donkey. Hey Ashley, how you doing? Let's go downstairs and actually start touring this before I run out of time. Let me bring that other screen down to the bottom and be bigger. That's not it. There we go. But we'll go down in the garden, which is actually in my basement. And like I said, I just cleaned the fruiting chamber out. I took every bag out of there, and we're going to start out kind of fresh. And I don't think the device is turned back on yet, no. Hold on 1 second. So this is the actual fruiting chamber. Right now it actually is empty. But this is where I grow all the mushrooms at. And it looks like I got the thermostat wet, so the humidifier say it's too hot, too wet in here, but have to dry it off here. But this is actually the thermostat right here that controls this over here, and these are all the controls for. Let me turn this light on real quick. So these are all the controls that run the fruiting tent. So this is the humidifier device. It's actually, once it gets below 70%, it kicks on and hits humidity in there. This is the atomizing unit, which actually has the power supply to the atomizer unit. An atomizer is basically like what you see in a fog machine, or let's say a pond with a fogger. It actually it vibrates and uses electricity, and I don't really understand exactly how it works, and then it creates steam, basically cold steam, which is really what I want. You can't really get that with any other humidifier unless you're using a wick humidifier, and that would be way expensive to use. So this is an atomizer machine. I have a 9-unit atomizer, so it has 9 discs, and you'll see it in there. I just can't get it to turn on right now because the humidifier is clogged up with water, but I cleaned the tent out, and I apparently sprayed the shit out of it with water, because you see it's empty here. So how I clean it off is everything in here got sprayed with bleach. I use a bleach water sprayer, the automatic sprayer, and let it sit, and then I completely hose it down with a hot water hose, which I have available down here. Which, if you do not have a hot water hose, I have one right here. Hot water hose in the gardens, it's amazing to have, because it improves your ability to clean things by just a lot, because hot water is very strong. And it's very easy to clean things when you have that hot water available. So right now we're at a complete cleanly stage now. We're ready to start putting in our new bags, which are right here. These are all going in. This is going to grow probably about 30 pounds of mushrooms with what's sitting here to my business over the next probably 2 to 4 weeks, 30 pounds of mushrooms. So we got pink oyster, we got Terra oyster mushrooms, we got blue oyster, golden oyster, and we got some shiitake. We got a whole mix going on here. So starting out fresh. This is going to be for the spring season. We're going to start this room out very clean. And then in about a month, we're going to be barreling out more mushrooms. I have new devices that are really going to help me improve how easy it is to do this, because I'm really about some simplicity, improving methods that make managing time a lot easier. So when you have better equipment, you can obviously do things quicker in a short amount of time, and that not only improves your profits, but also improves your ability to do other things as well. So we have some equipment, and I'll show you one of them here that's going to save me some time. But here is actually the atomizer machine, and I'll take it off, but I risk knocking it off. So give me a second here. So I'll explain how this thing works. So we have a 4-inch fan coming in here. There's actually outside of this unit, there's a 4-inch fan that kicks on when the humidity shoots below 70%. It goes on with the atomizer. It automatically goes on. This atomizer has a flowing unit in it that actually the same thing you see in a toilet that fills up and then stops the water from coming in. So we have one of those. Here's the actual atomizer. This is the unit right here. You can see the 9 discs here. So it's not on right now. It only goes on when it has a sensor in here, and the electricity to it is not on right now. So we have 9 discs here that vibrate and use electricity. Like I said, it's kind of a complex thing. I just buy them and they work, but how they actually work. And these are little floaties. They help keep it steady on top of the water so they don't sink. So these things are about $120. They're not that expensive, but they are they're required if you want to grow mushrooms at a commercial level. This unit right here will humidify easily a 20 by 20 room. It will completely full of steam. And the reason I like this device is because it uses cold water. So if you add hot water or any kind of hot humidity into a room with mushrooms, it's going to be bad. You're going to be really bad. So mushrooms in the wild, like when you think of a morning fog, it's always a cool mist. That's really what mushrooms love the most. That is their prime environment, is when that cool mist morning falls in the spring, when you have you're right between 60 to 65 degrees. And that's what we're trying to create inside of this environment. We're trying to create that morning that happens. So we simulate it here in this environment, in this tent. And that 60 to 65 degree range is our prime. That's where we want to be. The colder the better, but it's kind of hard to get it below 60 degrees in here. So 60 to 65 is prime range with an 80% humidity. And this thing actually has a little plunger in here. It automatically fills up with water. And then I don't have to do anything with it. It automatically fills up, automatically works. I can leave it and I'll make it sure, and it's going to work just fine for months at a time without me even having to check on it. Now again, I do clean it every month because it does get algae in it, and you want to keep this room clean. So we just cleaned it today, and we're going to put that back in there. And again, it just floats in the water there, and then again we have our 4-inch intake. And then we got our outline here. So this thing actually has the outline here that comes up here. You can see then right above me shoots the steam out. And I can turn it on here real quick. I'll actually just plug it in and we'll show you how it works. But shoots out here and over here. So let me turn it on real quick and we'll watch it work. So basically, I need to finish putting this on, but they actually ran out of store when I was there. So you can see it's coming out right now. See it coming out over there? And it comes out pretty strong. You can see and once this door is closed, I'll show you. I'll close it a little bit. It really doesn't take long for it to fill up. And when this thing runs full time, it runs for 5 minutes. This whole room is full of steam to the point where I can't see a foot in front of me. Sandra, I need to put it back on the website. Had an issue with a customer who left a bad review. I don't know, for some reason on there, and I took the product off, but I need to put it back on there. She actually left a bad review on accident, and then I had to remove. The only way to remove it is to remove the product, and I eventually wanted to put it back on. But I do have some coconut available. Sandra, just private message me and I'll get that to you. But yeah, it's filling up right now. You can see it takes kind of a minute, but this whole room will fill up with that cold mist. We got a fan blowing it around here. The mushrooms will be on these shelves. You kind of can't see me now, can you? I'm fogging up, guys. See how fast it gets foggy in here. So right now we're at 63 degrees. We got this fogger's working, and then we got an exhaust fan, an exhaust unit right here. This is a 4-inch fan, runs for 20 minutes every hour. This exhausts everything out of the house, out of this, and it goes outside the house. So we're letting that fog sit on the mushrooms for a minute. Then we're clearing out the room. We want that CO2 level to change as well. We want that fresh oxygen to come in. Because once the mushrooms start growing, they actually require more oxygen, but they want that CO2 as well. So they're like humans. So when we're in an oxygen-rich environment, our bodies do need a little bit of CO2. And when you don't have that proper environment for the mushrooms, they can suffer. But you got that fresh air exchange. You got fresh air coming in from over there, and so we got a very prime environment to grow mushrooms in. So this is a unit that can grow easily 3 to 5 pounds a month. This tent right here, I have 3 shelves, and I can easily fit 2 more. So in this small 5x10 area, you can grow that many mushrooms a month, and it doesn't take a lot of space. And you can see how foggy it's getting in here now, how fast it happens. So that's been on, what, 3 minutes? 3 minutes, and this whole tent is full of fog now. It's crazy. But this is the environment that it takes to grow mushrooms. If you ever want to grow them at home, you can create it on a smaller scale, obviously, in a little tent or even in a little bag. And that's why I sell the bags as well. You might have to spray it with water at home. That's to improve the chances of growing better mushrooms. So this is the mushroom chamber. This is where all the magic happens. This is where, without this tent, I would not be able to have a business at all. But I say that about everything. So we have to have, everything been able to do it. So I'm going to get out of here because I'm getting steamed out. But pretty cool. So Debbie, that system I built it myself. Watched a YouTuber from Arizona. He owns a mushroom company in Arizona. And I watched enough of his videos that I kind of figured out how he built it. I bought all the parts from it, and I do construction for a living. I've done it for 25 years. I can do my own electrical plumbing. I got my own system ran, which I'm going to improve with actual duct work. But I ran this whole lab facility, this whole garden I built myself. I've done all the wiring for the lights. I've got the switches. I built these walls. And I also had to move a whole washer and dryer that was here to the other side of that wall in order to fit this here. So it only fits in certain places of my house. So the whole setup was kind of expensive because I had to, move stuff around in my actual house and move gas lines, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, But the atomizer is $120 to build all the accessories for. You're probably talking another $100. The tent is expensive. You're looking $500 to $800 for a tent this size. Spend the money though, buy the $800 tent because I regret buying the cheaper one, but I kind of knew what I was buying and it was more of an experiment. This tent's going to last me 5 years. If you buy a better one, you'll probably get 10 years. We got some major rust happening in some of the corners. Eventually it'll start to rust out. But we also have this whole setup back here. This is the back unit happens. We got our fan set up. You can see it. We got an AC Infinity control here. This is what controls the exhaust in that tent. And then we have an optional air conditioner back here as well. We can turn on the air conditioner. And then we have a filtration system that filters the air before it goes into the water intake. I know that's a lot to take in, but it took me a long time to learn it as well, because there's not like anybody on Facebook or anybody on YouTube who kind of shares more details about how they actually built it. Because from what I've seen, mushroom farmers some of them are very stubborn with education. They don't want other people to grow because they feel like then they'll become their competitor. But I kind of look at it the other way. If I teach people to grow, they may buy the supplies from me it takes to grow. And, it's just knowledge. Teaching people is more important, than making money. So we got all these bags out here we got to put in here. We got this is the cool one, the pink oyster. And you can see, let me get under a light, we got some pink mycelium. Pretty cool that the mycelium actually is pink too. And then we got some of these bags are going to go into the mushroom chamber. And how we do that is we actually, I can show you real quick. Let's do one real quick. So we got one here. That's an elm oyster. So you can see it has a little bit of overgrowth in it. Not much. So what we're going to do is smash the bag down. We're going to get that air out of here. In order to do that, we cut a hole in the corner. We'll let that air out. And we're going to flip it upside down. So basically, we want to kill the oxygen source right here. This is oxygen going in here. We're going to make it not put oxygen in there. And then we're going to cut a slice in it. So this bag actually, we're going to slice it right here. A nice slice. It's going to be a U-shaped slice. And that's all it takes. All these bags get the same thing done. Some of them, if they're growing mushrooms, Like this one is growing a mushroom in it, and I'm gonna have to pull that out. It happens, and that's what happens if you let it sit around too long. But you just pull the mushrooms out and stick it in there. It'll still grow mushrooms. It just, the mushrooms it's growing aren't edible really. So this sits on the shelf, and 10 days later I'll have mushrooms. So yeah, in about 10 days, after you cut a hole in here, in about 10 days, you'll have about, the bigger bags get about a 3-pound flush. 3 pounds first time. That's crazy, isn't it? So yeah, these bigger bags will get 3-pound flushes. The smaller bags get about 1.5 pounds, and then the flushes kind of get less than that. So the second flush will be like 1.5 pounds on the bigger bags, and then it'll be 1 pound the third flush eventually. You get about 5 pounds 5 to 6 pounds out of the larger bags, and 2 to 3 pounds out of the smaller bags. But what's going on, Mikey? How you doing? But yeah, don't forget to hit that love, like, reaction button. A lot of people will watch this afterwards, since I'm kind of giving a tour of the facility here that it is in my house. And here's the newest tool right here, where this is the mixer, and I've been wanting to get this for a while. This is going to make mixing and making the soil so much easier. So when you do mushroom growing, you have to get the mix exactly right in the bags. If you do not get it right at all, you'll get what's this. This is the perfect example of it. So you can see that fine line right there. The mushroom stopped growing. That's because I didn't mix it right. That's because I'm mixing it by hand, and sometimes I'm not very consistent. So here, this is going to get my mix of hardwood pellets, soy hull, and water, and we're going to be able to mix it very efficiently. We're not going to run into that problem anymore, and it's going to save me some backache too, because I got tired of doing it by hand. When you're mixing like 40 to 30 pounds of substrate, and then you have to do it for 10 minutes by hand, it can get tiring, and it's not very efficient either. So pretty much, Shauna, you could take the shiitakes do grow outside the bags, but you have to have the right environment for it. But the bags is what they grow out of, because the environment is in the bags to let the mushroom grow. So the bag is much needed. But you can grow gourmet mushrooms other ways, but the bag method is the best way for any commercial grower to grow it. It's the cheapest, most efficient way for us to grow it, so it works great. And then we got all our ingredients right here. So we got, if anybody ever doesn't know what it takes to grow mushrooms, that is our grain, which we actually just replaced with rye berries. We're going with rye berries now. I totally just upgraded the rye berries, and I haven't really explained what that is and what the difference is between whole oats and rye berries. But basically, we're paying triple the price for our grain, but it's so much better for mushroom growing. And I'm excited about that to improve the quality of the way I do everything here at the Great River Mushroom. So I'm excited to upgrade to a new oat. And then sounds silly and such, but it's going to make things a lot easier over here. Again, we got our hardwood pellets, and these are hardwood pellets. These are basically the same thing you use in a hardwood pellet stove. And you would see them for like $6 for 40 pounds at like Menards. That's where I get them, because they're so cheap there. That's all it is. Compressed hardwood pellets. They take leftover shit that they can't sell at the land, at the mine, whatever, sawdust, and then they turn it into these pellets, and that's what I use to grow mushrooms. Then we have the soy hull. And the soy hull I get the soy hull from a place in Pittsfield, Illinois. It's a farming supply. They supply grain and stuff and seed and stuff, and it's got a little bit of protein in it for the mushroom to eat. So the hardwood pellets supply the base for it to grow in. The soy hull supplies the nutrition it needs to grow. And it's crazy that we take these two ingredients that humans have no use for. In fact, the soy hull is they almost give it away for free at like ADM to other people to process, because it's pretty much worthless. It has nothing of value to even feed to an animal, because it has very little protein in it. So when I actually buy it from that facility, they said I was like the first one that bought it in 8 months. Like nobody ever buys soil hole because nobody has any use for it. And I was explaining to him, like, I grow mushrooms with it, and he was like, "What? No shit." And I'm like, "Yeah, you can." So it's crazy that we can turn something that's useless to humans as in leftover hardwood pellets and then soil holes and make it into something like mushrooms that you can eat. A little bit of water too. So it only takes mushrooms literally take 80% less water than growing a plant. They're very efficient at using a little water in growing what they do. So it's amazing that, those two little things can do so much to grow other things as well. And that doesn't take much ingredients wise. They're cheap. I actually bought 500 pounds for $75 of soil hole once. 500 pounds for $75. He loaded 10 bags in my truck, and I was like expecting to be a few hundred, and it was $75. That is cheap. I can turn that $75 literally into thousands of pounds of mushrooms. That 500 pounds is easily going to grow thousands of pounds of mushrooms, and it's wild. It's wild to think of how efficient it is that those ingredients turn into that many mushrooms, but it's the truth. Like I said, this new piece of equipment is going to change a lot of things in here. I'm excited about this. This is my room where I do all my bagging. All the ingredients get combined, so I'm trying to make it more efficient. The next upgrade is going to be a stainless steel table in the center, and then we're going to paint this wall here. I'm tired of looking at this nasty wall. I'm tired of videoing it too. We're going to put our logo, Great River Mushrooms logo, right there. It's going to be awesome. Also, this is all going to replace with stainless steel, and we're going to have all stainless steel throughout here. And then we're going into this is the marijuana area. What's going on, Paul? How you doing? Yeah, manure is great, but it's getting nasty in your house. And right now, it's kind of sad. I have my flower tents are empty because I'm waiting to upgrade some lights. I do have some plants and veg, but man, look how empty it is. But it's spotless. I completely cleaned it out with bleach. Everything's ready to grow again. But my 4x8 tent is empty. We got a plant hanging in here. This is my other flower tent. We got a plant hanging in here. It's ready to cut up. It's got to cut it up. And we're just using it as a dry tent right now. And these my two flower tents are empty, but we'll turn it around. We got some plants in here. You can see how big it is. The lights are off right now. They're in nighttime, so we got some pretty big veg plants. We got 3 pretty large ones ready to roll into flower. And they got 2 in here. This whole tent's full of plants. It's crazy. But yeah, just need to get them in the flower now. And just like I said, these 3 tents here are all devoted to marijuana. So it's kind of the marijuana alley. And then we go back and do the more of the mushroom part. And this is the holding chamber. I'll turn the light on. This is where we hold all our bags of mushrooms till they're ready to grow. And we got some actually grown shiitake out of here. This one's probably ready to fruit. And right now it's empty, but like I said, we're about to go full speed at Great River Mushrooms. And now we're going into the lab, and I know a lot of you have seen the lab. Let me turn the fan off real quick. But this is the lab, and this is actually the fan unit that actually brings in clean air. And this is where we do all of our sterile work environment in this tent. So we have a huge filter on the other side of this tent outside. It's a 16-inch charcoal filter coming in through an 8-inch inline iPower fan. I'm bringing 900, I think it's like 790 RPMs. I don't know. This thing can pump out some speed. I got a control knob over here, so it's variable speed control. And we do all our work right here. We got all our genetics up here. We got more of this is our supply bags. So these are our bags that are going to be made into mushrooms that are ready to go. And we got our more of our genetics in here. We got a lion's mane. We got all of our petri dishes. So all of our anything we use and to grow out the mushrooms start here. These are our petri dishes. You can see we got some beautiful pink oyster right there. Beautiful mycelium. That's what you want it to look like. This is the beginning of life right here. This is the beginning of a mushroom's journey. And it starts in this little petri dish. Check out the pink. Like I said, it grows pink mycelium. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Actually pink because it's a tropical mushroom. Pink oyster actually grows, is one of the few oysters that grows in the tropics. So my it's going to be pink. You think of exotic, humid places, the pink is a good color. And that pink oyster it's kind of difficult to grow. You can't grow it. It likes a lot more humidity than the other oyster mushrooms, and it decays really fast. So after you actually harvest it, you literally have like 3 or 4 days before you can eat it. So I don't really grow a lot of it just for that fact. You have to eat it very fast, but it is an eye catcher at the market. When you have pink oyster on your table, people come to your table and they're like, "What is that? What is that?" And then they buy something from you because they're so intrigued. So it really draws people in, the pink oyster mushroom color. We got some lion's mane here that's actually growing lion's mane in the bag, which it does that. It's growing in the grain bag, which it does that sometimes because it's so aggressive that it wants to grow in anything, and it can't grow in those bags because it doesn't have a base unit. So the mushrooms, they have to have something to hold on to, and if in a grain bag they don't have that base. So when they don't have that stability base, they'll start to grow, and then they'll realize, hey, I'm not stable enough to grow a mushroom. I'm gonna fall over. They'll eventually stop growing. So call those aborts. And in mushroom growing, I know in other terms that's a bad term, but in mushroom growing, an abort is a mushroom that grew and then eventually didn't have the stability or didn't have the nutrition to keep growing, so it kind of kills itself. And then the mushroom, the mycelium will actually re-eat it. So this is the lab. This is the room I only come in after taking a shower, and I just took a shower this morning, so I'm clean, at least clean in here. You can see how spotless it is. There's not even a crumb on the floor. It's crazy. But when I actually clean it, I clean it very thoroughly, and that way I don't have to do it very often. But it is spotless right now, and I do like to keep it that way. And we also got an area for more experiments in here as well, which I eventually will do. I've talked about that in the past, about actually taking these extracts. So it's very interesting. This is the shiitake extraction. So this is we call it mushroom piss, but it's actually a whole bunch of enzymes that the mushroom produces. This is the shiitake one, and it actually looks like blood when it's actually out on a table. And I've done some experiments on it to why the mushroom actually creates it. A lot of people theorize that it creates this to fight off contaminations. It may use it to fight off bugs. It may be just something it creates just to create it. So I actually did some experiments where I put it on some bugs in the past to see if the bugs didn't like it or the bugs killed the bugs. And I did get a couple reactions with some of the bugs. So it was really interesting. So I want to do some further experiments with this. I really think that there could be a product that can be used as a bug repellent maybe in this extract. Because I agree with the theory that it's probably created to not only fight off contaminations, but to fight off bugs and maybe attract bugs to it that are beneficial. It only does it. Some of the species do it way more than the others. So we have a blue oyster piss, which you can see the color difference. It creates a lighter enzyme color. And then we got the shiitake, which is more like a blood color. And it doesn't do it every time. It only does it when there's the presence of maybe a contamination. It'll create it, and it seems to do it to fight off that contamination. But what actually is in here is basically nature's antibiotics. In essence, it's creating an enzyme in order to fight off another organism to kill it, and it's pretty amazing that a mushroom that is capable of doing that, creating its own byproduct that actually can kill another organism, such as a virus, bacteria, or like trichodermia, the blue greenish stuff that you see in your bread. That's really what it creates it for as well, to kill that bacteria. So it's really interesting. I have a few tubes of it that I've extracted over the couple of years, and there's no contaminations in it. So obviously it has antibacterial essence, because usually if you leave anything in a syringe that long, something's going to grow on it, bacteria or something. Nothing is in there. So I think it really has some kind of antibacterial capabilities, and what it is, I have to further experiment with. Yeah, that's what that's why I really like doing this too, because mushroom growing is so it's frontier work. We're at like the frontier of really understanding a mushroom, and I think even like people, minor mycologists who do work in their basement, can make a really big difference. So I think that is intriguing to me, that literally that there are people who are mycologists at home who have no degree, who have no science, no biology degree, can do all this at home and do experimental stuff. So that's why I love doing it, especially too, because it's so intriguing. And I got to turn off this light and make sure this equipment's off. So you can see my humidifier is back to normal now. It's running at 70%, and I set it at 80%, and it's actually so powerful that I have to set it 10% less because it actually feels too much humidity. So we close these doors up, and we leave the center door open, and that allows for some more fresh air to come in. I'm not really worried about humidity escaping because it really doesn't run that often. So yeah, that is the whole grow facility as of right now. We'll have more improvements later. Like I said, stainless steel. The new lab will eventually be built, and this is the big board that kind of shows everything I grow, what I have inventory. I haven't updated in a while, but I'm about to do that this week. I guess the time. So, and then we do have one more room. This is the storage room. It's kind of a dry room. It's the store in my house, but I also use it to store the ingredients to take. So I have all my soy hull back here. This is to keep it away from anything that's going to get wet. I keep it in this dry room. And then we got our hardwood pellets, which we're out right now. I got to go get some more. And then we have our organic rye berries right there. We got vermiculite too, cocoa coir. So we can literally make our own soil too with some of the ingredients we have. But the vermiculite is used to grow magic mushrooms, and cocoa coir magic mushrooms. I haven't grown magic mushrooms in a while, but I have the ingredients to at least do it if I choose to. So yeah, this is the dry storage area, which doesn't take up too much room. And then we have the bedroom, which is eventually going to become the lab. I have some outdoor work I need to do as well. I have a leak at the bottom of this wall, so I got to dig some dirt out here and do some work on this exterior wall to eliminate that leak. But eventually, this is going to become the lab. This all stainless steel will be through here. We'll have some shelves, and that's when the true exciting part will start, because that other lab tent will become another mushroom chamber or experiment room, whatever I choose to do. And this will become the full-time lab, and it's a big room. So this is going to triple the size of my other lab. And we have the lighting, we have the electrical, we have everything in here we need to do. Well, that light doesn't work, but I took the bulbs out. Everything in here we need to do. We have the windows. We're going to put 2 window units in here, air conditioning, so we'll be able to control the environment really well, which is required in a lab. The reason that if you ever go into a lab that's cold is because bacteria has a less chance surviving when it's colder. So we'll be able to keep it at 65 degrees very easily, 65 to 70, and that one, because once it gets over 76 degrees in any environment, bacteria and contaminations go up by 300 times. At that point, 76 degrees, remember that is when bacteria and any kind of viruses, usually they love that 76 degrees or more. So if you keep it under that, you really, really keep the viruses and bacteria down in any environment. So just remember that pivotal point, 76 degrees, that is the thriving point, usually of bacteria and such. All right, we're gonna go back upstairs and we'll give away this bottle of lion's mane, and probably gotta get going on my day. And Rasta Rhino's gonna be going live here probably right now. Invite you to go join him on his podcast today. I think he's having Becca from Becca's World on there. And hit that like, love, reaction button. I appreciate y'all stopping by and having the tour. Yeah, I'm up there 10 to 70 degrees. That's where I like to be comfortable in. But hit that hashtag when we bring that bigger screen up. Got 26 entries in there. I appreciate it, Rose. It's taken a while to build. And then I actually, in 2016, a lot of you don't know, I got my house got raided, and the police ended up taking thousands of dollars in equipment, probably $5,000 of equipment, and in my marijuana grow. And although I was growing illegally, that was where I really began the interest in all this, how I have my setup. So like my setup in 2016 was literally child's play to what I have now. But that illegal grow allowed me to really experiment better ways to grow. So the University of Hard Knocks sometimes sucks, but I always say like, hey, that I got a felony from it and thousands of dollar fine, but the knowledge that I learned from doing that is priceless. Because I sometimes think back at that, I'm like, remember when you were growing marijuana in 2016? And then I look at my setup now and I'm like, man, that setup then just allowed me to really, really learn. Yeah, unfortunately, Mike, I actually hung out with a narc, a snitch. She worked for the police. I was only with her for 45 minutes. She tried to buy marijuana from me, and I told her that I didn't have any for sale. Never told her I was growing, never showed her anything. But that was enough information for them to get a warrant. And like 3 days later, my door got kicked in. Well, I opened the door to the police, and but I mean, I knew who did it, and she had actually been an informant 2 times before. So the way the Illinois law works is once somebody is a certified informant where they've actually provided information in the past on somebody, they're allowed in the future to actually the more believable. So she could have completely made anything up, and they would have believed her based on her previous help in other cases. And that Illinois law, it's actually written in the law because I've looked it up, and that police departments can do that. So the police departments will take advantage of that by actually finding a snitch who's done, say she's already done it 3 times. They'll take advantage of that and then tell her to make something up, and then take that to a judge. The judge will be like, okay, she's already done 3 previous cases, very successful. And they'll approve a court-ordered, a search warrant. And I never sold her anything that ever gave her any information that I was growing, so she had to make something up. And that's the way the Illinois law actually is written, and you can look it up yourself. And that's what police departments take advantage of when they actually have those. I guess they call them certified snitches. But it's written deep in the law, and that's why there was not much I could do to fight that, because even it's written in Illinois statute, cases of where they use an informant who provides information in the past has more merit and confidence that they're telling the truth, than somebody who's done it for the first time, Crazy world we live in, but that's how the police departments get around some of the laws by doing having that written into law. And it kind of violates our rights, because they're like, man, if they want to get into some place, the police will get into some place. Like, there's no stopping them from getting a warrant if they want to get a warrant into a house. It's just a matter of finding the right snitch and somebody making something up, probably. And I'm not saying that happens in every police department. In my case, I don't think it was happening in my police department. I don't think they were taking advantage of that. I think the fact that this girl was trying to get out of trouble from a previous meth conviction, and that it was just the timing that she picked me. But in actually the cops that arrested me ended up helping me. One of the detective in the case, actually, he called the state's attorney and told the state's attorney, he's like, why are we sending this young man to prison? Because I was actually facing 8 months in DOC. And the cop was like, this guy doesn't deserve to go to prison. Is there anything we can do to help him? And the police department, the DA, and a lady who works who's the president of Habitat for Humanity, all got on the phone, and they basically worked out a plea deal where they kept me out from going to DOC. They dismissed the more serious felony, and I pled guilty to the possession of 20 to 50 sativa plants. And that cop ended up becoming the chief of police in my town. So he is pro marijuana. He actually kept me from going to prison, and eventually got police chief job. So I love that he became the police chief, because he walked up to me in court and he shook my hand, and I didn't know who he was because he was a detective, so he wasn't in like a police uniform. And he said, "I hope everything works out for you." You know? But that was awesome that he kept me from going to that 8 months in DOC, because that was the minimum I was facing. Like the first time I went to court, my attorney told me, and I was like, "I'm going to prison over this," and had to do everything I could to try to keep that from happening. I had people on my side as well, the police department. So there are still people to this day who think I snitched on somebody, but I told the cops, I'm like, I found a seed in a bag of weed. I bought everything on Amazon. I'm like, who am I going to snitch on? And there's still people who think that I did because I got off kind of easy, but I think there are people on my side, and their marijuana reforms were happening, and people were like, why would we send a guy to prison for marijuana when legalization's just happening? But I did share that story on Facebook too about our chief of police and how he helped me in that. And so I think we definitely have a good chief of police who doesn't want to throw people in prison for marijuana. But let me hit that hashtag Lions Made and get you guys out of here so you guys can. I got to get my day going. And good luck, everybody. If anyone else wants to get in that Lions Mane, hit that hashtag Lions Mane. Yeah, Rose ended up working out 2 years of probation and lots of piss tests, and it sucked, but I made it through it. That knowledge I gained from that experience was well worth more than the negative stuff. So, like I said, I learned so much growing that 1 year. Like that knowledge is, I can't take that back. Good luck, everybody. Let's hit it. The brother of Ridgeway. We'll write that down real quick so I forget. Roulette, are you still here? Oh, playing it again. Here she is. Congratulations. You're gonna win a bottle of Lions Mane. And thank you guys all for joining me again. Hit that love, like, reaction button on the way out. I got to go help a coworker install something on a ladder real quick. And go watch Rasta right now. He's live right now. He's having Becca, and I think he's going to be giving away a bottle of Lions Mane from me as well. So go check that out and go win another bottle of Lions Mane if you didn't win today. So again, thank you guys all for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. And I hope you guys stay tuned for the future improvements that I have coming, and the great stuff that the newer products that we're going to be offering. So hope everybody has a great day. Again, I appreciate all the love and reactions, and I hope everybody has a great weekend and a very safe weekend. So let me bring myself up here. There we go. Much love, everybody. We'll see you guys later.
Hey guys, it's Dan the Mushroom Man. Just wanted to remind you that if you donate to those Facebook stars, all of those donations will go to Fungi and Friends school program at Great River Mushrooms in Nerble. And that school program is where we bring hands-on skills into the classroom to children and teach them about the fungi kingdom and the knowledge to grow those mushrooms. Again, learn more at the website greatrivermushrooms.com, folks.